Dear Madam Buchus-Ghali, the ambassadors of great nations who are here, my natural people, brothers and sisters, greetings from Lakota country, from my elders and spiritual interpreters. From them, I bring this message. Mankind, humanity has gone haywire. Lands and peoples are in turmoil and in chaos throughout the world. Madness is everywhere. The United Nations is constantly in disagreement. One nation accuses another. War is imminent, never ceasing. In the United States, the most successful industrialized nation in the world continues to argue over trade, over money and wealth. Driven by greed, they continue to dig deep into the bowels of our sacred life giver, our first and only mother, the earth who bore us all. Mitaku ki hoyas e. Ikche chasho unkana guptampo. All my relations, listen to us, the natural peoples. It is said, in the beginning, there was a stone, and from this stone came the energy that we see in the sky, that we call the sun. The stone who bore this, we call her Wia, because we call the sun we, and the stone Ia. Wia is woman. It is said that in the first world we lived in a spirit world. In the second world, we were the Wahut-Koyate, the root nation people. In the third world, we were the Wahutopa, the four-legged people. And today, in this fourth world, we exist as Wahut-Nupa, the two-legged peoples. We live in the waters, on the surface of our lands, and in the skies as Wahut-Nupa. There are many things that we can talk about, which will take more time than the time that we are allowed here this afternoon. I will, however, give a brief description of who we are as Lakota before I mention some of the prophecies. If you look up into the sky at night, you'll see 7 stars, a constellation that appear as the Big Dipper. These are the 7 brothers of the Lakota, Dakota, and Nakota nations. I am a Titwa, which is only one of that star. He's our father, that one particular star of the 7. To the east of the 7 brothers are the 7 sisters who became stars and became a constellation from a sacred place called the Chesapa, or the Black Hills. They gave us 7 laws to live by, and they gave us 7 sites around the Black Hills, each with its own rituals and ceremonies. The 7 laws are very important to us. And as I talk about them, you'll understand why. Other nations, other peoples and civilizations have similar laws, but sometimes they don't live by those laws. Law number 1, Wachantogunanke. To carry the welfare of the people in your heart means to be generous and to share and to give. Number 2, Wawaonshila, to have pity and compassion for all things that move. Number 3, Waiuoniha, to have respect and to show your respect by honoring them. Number 4, Oachinchanka, to have a great mind, meaning also to be patient and to be tolerant. Number 5, Woachwala, to seek humility, to be humble at all times. Number 6, wo'ohitike, to be brave and courageous, to have fortitude, and to have principles and live by them. Number 7, woksape, wisdom, to have understanding of those laws and live by them every single moment of your lives. This is what guides us. We don't see that throughout the world. In fact, we see the opposites of all of these in the world around us. Accumulation of wealth, greed, hatred, an eye for an eye, disrespect, and kill and destroy what don't agree with you. Impetuous, you do things with your mind rather than with your heart. We all have egos and arrogance. There are man-made laws which says you are guilty. You are innocent until found guilty. Lack of truth. Lack of understanding. This is the direct result of misunderstanding. And the things that I mentioned touch every facet of our lives. To talk and to go into the prophecies, the visions and dreams would take a long time. So I'll just give a brief synopsis, a summary of all of these. I'll say it in Lakota first so that for those of you who study this might understand what I'm saying. When the 8th star appears, when that 8th star appears, life is changing. Life as we know it and the civilization that we know it is changing. That star is coming. You will see uncommon events. You will see those things that are different than what you generally see. Oapre trokcha nataku chakaki shni ki ataya ki chi yapi hantana. As unnatural events meets the real, unreal, and the impure ways, we will begin to see this change. Each of these, I can go into greater detail, but to give you an idea of what life is and how life is destroying us. When two men try to create life, it doesn't happen. And when two women try to create life, it can't happen. Life is meant to be created between a husband and wife. Taku hechetu kte shnishka ichetu hantaya. When those things that are not supposed to happen begin to happen. I mentioned about what things has happened around this world. When positive become positive. When negative becomes negative. When evil becomes evil, meets evil. Nothing, never anything good. Taku memela wakahena Taku memela wakahena umanchitke ka homini hantana. When those sacred circles spin in reverse, this is when we begin to see times in a different way. Wamang khashkanki ipach ikpazo pihantana. The sacred earth which moves shows themselves in a different manner. These are only some of the real profound messages that has been said hundreds and hundreds of years ago by our spiritual interpreters. Another one. Wiyanki tohang chea pihantana o techikelo. Wichoni ewekiginankinkitelo. When the women cry, it is difficult and unbearable. I will give my life. Inaman koche ishnala ninktelo. Earth Mother alone will survive and live. When the earth cries, the mothers cry. Nations cry. The green things that have roots and the animals cry. All thing which moves and lives cry. The sacred hoop of life and understanding, they say, is broken. But it is also said in a great vision that in this generation, the seventh generation, since it is broken at Wounded Knee in 1890, we will mend it. Help us, the good people. When you help us to live, you help yourself and life around you. Help us to live. Hohe.